everyone. So today I'm going to talk about this KVD foundation, and it is the new one, the Good Apple Full Coverage Serum Foundation. My understanding is that this is replacing the Lock-It foundation. It's being discontinued. The Lock-It foundation is discontinued as far as I know, which has been around forever. Back, when things were bad and we all took a step away from this brand, the formula, I think, was different. And then a certain owner no longer was a part of the company. Some of us came back. I bought a new bottle of this, and it's the Light 42 Neutral. And this formula, actually, I can wear on my face. The previous incarnation of the Lock-It just did not work for me. I could not make it work. The shade, I don't know what the deal was, but the formula in the really pale shades, I think they had some issues with. Let's take a look at the swatches, and then we'll come back and talk about it. All right, so these are the swatches. This is the KVD Good Apple Full Coverage Serum, whatever the heck it's called, in Light 002. You can see on the edge here where it's like dried, and it does oxidize, dries down a little bit darker, as do a lot of foundations that are this kind of consistency. And this is the KVD Light 42 Neutral, which is a better tone for me. It would be better if it were more of a yellow tone, but it has a little bit more of like a something, peach something. This one is just kind of like grayish. It takes neutral to like gray levels. And this is the Good Apple Foundation Balm in Light 004, which is obviously a lot darker than the other ones. I can still wear it. It's fine. Light to medium coverage. My face is already darker anyway. This is a new foundation to me. It's the Essence Keep Me Covered Long Lasting Transfer and Waterproof 10 Pale. It's quite yellow, as you can see. I like this. I think it is nice. And it's more affordable, but again, way different undertone, obviously, than these other things. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear in 0N1 Alabaster, their lightest shade, which does also oxidize a little bit and gets a little bit warmer as it starts to dry down. This is the Dior, what's this called? Forever Skin Glow. It is quite pale. It is more neutral in that kind of gray putty way than the like peachy way. But it still has just more undertones other than like death than the KVD. And this last one is one of my very pale options. It is the Lancome Tant Idol Ultra in 085N. And it does too also just kind of warm up a little as it starts to dry down. So there's the swatches. It's a weird shade, I gotta say. And then when it's on my face, it's a different story too. So, okay, so you could see, hopefully you could see there where like on the edge where it was like a thinner layer and it was starting to really dry down and set. It definitely is darker and it has some sort of like undertone that isn't like gray. And on my face, it doesn't look gray, does it? I don't think so. I mean, I'm very pale. Is this overexposed? Let me turn it down a little. What do we think? I mean, okay, so my neck is very pale. My face is darker than my neck because of redness, because of freckles, etc. My hand tends to be kind of a similar color as my neck, so that's usually like a good comparison point. I don't think my face looks ghostly white, which is a little weird considering what it does in the swatches. I do really think that this is one that kind of oxidizes with the skincare that's on your face or like your natural oils or whatever, because depending on what I was wearing underneath it, some days at the end of the day, I thought that it actually had warmed up fairly significant. It does seem to really depend on what I have underneath it. My face is a disaster zone. I don't know why. It's like breakouts plus peeling. It's a lot. And the weather's been changing a lot. And it was like, I was at the gas station this morning and it was like 32 degrees. So it wasn't super cold, but it was so incredibly windy that it was like rattling the gas station. So I think my face, like all the moisture got sucked out of it this morning. So I did try to prep it decently, but it's still, like I still have some pretty significant flakes on my chin. And this is going to catch on them and show them, as almost every foundation out there is really. It's hard to find one that's not going to catch on flakes. I'm 43 now, 43 years old. I have kind of combo oily-ish skin, acne prone, though usually it's handled better with skincare. I don't know what's happening right now. This winter has been very strange, very warm, and then occasionally cold, and then back to warm. My skin does not appreciate it. I do not appreciate it. And so I have some lines, where foundation can settle, more noticeable pores around this area, etc. These are reading glasses. Did I mention that? I don't know. But I realized I was having some pretty intense eye strain doing some Photoshop painting stuff and started wearing reading glasses, and it's really kind of helpful. And bonus, it's like having eyebrows and like eyeliner on, and when you've got this like massively pale expanse of a face, it's nice to have a little help from like something you just put on. Anyhow, so as far as how the foundation wears, for me, it does not break down weirdly on my chin, which is kind of like the pass or fail really judgment for me on foundations. Things that get patchy and polka dotted looking on my chin are kind of I do not like wearing those foundations because it's very visible that it is wearing off or looking bad throughout the day. Another thing that I tend to dislike a lot, but it's a little bit more workable if it makes my skin look dry, just because, as you get older, especially, the more dry your skin looks, it really kind of enhances any sort of lines and wrinkles and like loose skin that you might have. But it's a little bit easier to deal with that with like skin prep. This one doesn't like really like dry out my face, make it look dry, and I do think it looks really nice at the end of the day. It's like you can see some kind of natural oils coming through, but it's not greasy looking and it's not patchy on my chin. So those two things are really nice. I think it looks nice throughout the day. It kind of like warms up to my skin a little bit, just wears in nicely, as opposed to some where you put it on and it looks really good and then it just gets kind of worse throughout the day. I feel like this might fade a little bit and oxidize a little bit, but it also warms up in the way that like it just looks a little bit more natural because of the like natural oils in my skin kind of come through and add a little bit of a natural skin healthy glow, as it were. Yeah, so I do like how it wears throughout the day. I've tried setting it with a variety of powders. Today I'm using the e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder in light, I believe. And so that does have a little bit of a tint to it, but not too much. And I think I did put it on in the video before and after. I don't think you can really see that much of a difference. The shade range, though, is so strange at the pale end. I really kept going back and forth on what shade I thought might work on my face best. They don't even have like a chart of like locket shades for this, and they're like, well, start with your good apple balm foundation shade, and you might need to try a couple, blah, blah, blah. And then if you look at the shade chart and the models that they have in the foundation and the swatches, none of it makes sense. Like the next shade after 002 is this like very bright kind of peach foundation, and then the next one after that looks more subdued, based on that like little color swatches they have. But then if you look at the people, it's like, well, this one looks a lot darker and this one looks paler, and very not helpful. But when it comes down to it, the ultra pale people, there just aren't a lot of us. And so we have way more options now than we used to, which is great. I am very happy about this. I hope that this color does work for other people too. Like I said, I think it looks okay. I think that like it's a little bit lighter maybe in front of all of these lights. So I'll try to keep an eye on it today and like leave a comment. If I'm extremely ambitious, I will take a picture so we can see what it looks like. No guarantees about that though. But yeah, let me know if you have tried it out. If it worked for you, what you thought about it, your thoughts on the shade range, what kind of like shade stuff worked for you, didn't work for you, etc. I would really love to hear from you guys in the comments. So yeah, let me know. Weird. It looks exceedingly pale. Strange foundation color. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you soon.